So I was having a conversation with my younger son the other day, and he said, Mom, you remember when I used to kind of cringe or tell you to calm down or to kind of step in and say, Mom, be nice when you were standing up for yourself, when you were speaking up, when you were using your voice? And I said, Yes. He said, I get it now, Mom. I have my own son, and I totally get what you were doing. I get why it's important for you to defend yourself. For example, somebody passes by, right? They bump into you and keep walking, or get all up in your space and block your vision, whatever the case may be, doing something really rude and not saying, excuse me. I'm the type, I'm always high vibe, I'm always chill. I I'm a Libra, so I require balance. I don't like when things be out of whack. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that I do, and I am learning over the past 10 years, is to use my throat chakra and to speak up for myself and be like, hey, say excuse me next time. Hey, you don't see me standing here? Hey, what's the problem? And every time I was like that, my youngest son would be embarrassed because he felt like you shouldn't hurt other people's feelings. You shouldn't be so rough. You shouldn't, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. So many of us are like that. We don't speak up for ourselves. For many years, I didn't have the space to feel protected, to feel spoken for, spoken up for, to feel advocated for. I didn't have the space to use my voice and say what it is and how it is, and if I didn't like something. So I usually cowered down. I played the background. So over the past 10 years, I am just learning to come out of that, to be more confident, to be more matter of fact, to be more bold. Could you imagine yourself giving yourself permission to use your voice? Can you imagine how much happier you would be? How much less stressed you would be if you use your voice to speak your mind rather than going along to get along? If you just stepped out of the line a little bit and said, hey, watch what you're doing. Don't talk to me like that. I don't like it. I don't like to be touched that way. I don't like to be treated that way. Could you imagine? But I'm so self-aware and I'm always in my own head. And it made me think about how much courage it actually takes to be yourself, to speak your mind, to dance to the beat of your own drum, to live outside of what society says that you should be doing, what you should be wearing, how you should be acting. It takes courage. A sister had an issue with me expressing myself the way that I do online. Enough is enough, she said. We get it, she said. You are owning your body. Okay, what's next? We don't even know your style. We don't even know what kind of clothes you like. People will take issue with how you choose to live your life. So then we cower down, we play small because we don't want to offend. What are they going to think? What are they going to say if I look like this, if I dress like this, if I speak like this, if I walk like this? So we don't give ourselves permission to be the true version of ourselves that makes us happy and that makes us feel good. We don't give ourselves the power to be naked. I was like, that's going to be my next book. When somebody don't like something that I'm doing, I most likely am going to do more of it. That's just me, My next book is going to be called The Power to Be Naked. And I'm going to give all the tips and the tricks and the steps and everything that I've used over the years to own my nakedness. There are too many echoes these days and not enough voices to speak up for yourself, to own your nakedness, not just physically, but mind, body, and spirit. We're seeing it show up in the media every day, how people are not speaking up for themselves. They are going along to get along, and we're seeing that in this new case with P. Diddy and Cassie, right? Imagine if she said, no, I don't like that. I am an abuse survivor, so I know all about the Stockholm syndrome that takes place when you're in those type of relationships. What is that thing that happens to you? Is because you have suppressed your nakedness, your freedom to speak up, your freedom to say, no, I don't want to do that. That ain't me. I don't like that. How often do we live trying to make others happy rather than making ourselves happy? So we play small. We put everybody's needs and how they feel before our own. You're only hurting yourself. So it takes courage to speak up. It takes courage to be who you were created to be. It takes courage to say what it is and how it is. This evening, even having a conversation with a complete stranger. And we got on the subject of what it is that I do. And I talked about how I used to have a large female audience and now I have a large male audience. So I decided to monetize that large male audience and start a couple fan platforms. And she said, oh, so you have an OnlyFans now. And it was the way she said it, the judgment in her voice and the way that she looked. And the energy kind of shifted. And I know so many people are afraid of being judged, so they don't say what it is and how it is and who they are. They fall in line. They stay in the boxes. They don't speak up for themselves. And hey, I'm just saying all that to say, I'm doing a new series and it's called The Power to Be Naked. And part of that is going to be naked spiritually, mentally, to be naked vocally and speaking up for yourself. I'm going to be talking about a lot of that during this series. I think it's important. I think it's important to be the example. You're not going to be, everybody's not going to get you. My own son used to cringe like, oh, Mama, I can't believe you said that to her. A lot of y'all look at people and go, oh my God, I can't believe. There are going to be a lot of people who can't believe that you live the way you do, that you speak the way you do, that you dress the way you do, they ain't going to be able to believe it. But guess what? That is not your problem. That is their problem. You take on their problem when you play into things that they can digest, things that they can believe, things that they find to be acceptable. If you walk a straight line with everybody else, then you okay. But the moment you tip out of that line, that's too much. The moment I show up in my full nakedness where I'm speaking my truth and I'm showing my truth and I'm feeling my truth and I'm doing my truth and I'm moving through my life based on my truth, it becomes uncomfortable for some people. If you are taking on their discomfort and allowing yourself to be uncomfortable because you playing into the societal norms, then you're not doing anybody any favors. So anyway, I could talk about this for days, for hours, but I just want to know in the comments, if you could give yourself permission to be free, where would you start? Would it be speaking up for yourself? Would it be physically expressing yourself? Would it be spiritually maybe not having those same beliefs that mama and them have? That raised you, a certain way, to believe a certain thing, to think a certain way, to follow a certain thing. What would it be for you? What would your nakedness look like? But in the meantime and in between time, until the next time, you be fit, be fierce, be fabulous. Healthy is the new sexy. Bye, y'all.